Hello. Since we had technical difficulties doing the cross for red eyes and white eyes in the fruit fly, I'm doing this video as you guys suggested to explain what the results were with regard to T.H. Morgan's experiments with the fruit fly. Okay, so let's start with what he observed. Okay, just to review, if you remember, um, so the parental generation in this cross, we started with females with red eyes, okay, and crossed them with males with white eyes. Okay, do remember that when you start doing this cross, as with how classical genetics by Mendel was elucidated, you always start with a purebred or true breeding line. So we're assuming here, diba, that the parents are homozygous. But as you will see later on, since this is X-linked, in this case, the term homozygous does not apply for the male. Anyway, we'll explain that later. Okay, so red crossed with white, we have the purebred red. Since it's X-linked, sige, let's define our terms muna, no? So we said that the allele for eye color in the fruit fly is X-linked, okay? So how do we indicate that in our genotype? So we actually, since this is X-linked, we have to show the sex chromosomes. Okay, so we know that a female is 2X chromosomes, and the male would have an X and the Y chromosome. Oops. Sorry about that. Recording the video here. So, ano nangyari? 'Di ba, ang fruit flies are similar to humans in that sex is determined using the XY method. So, females are homogametic. You have a sex chromosome composition na 2X chromosomes. And then the male is the heterogametic sex, XY. Okay? So, we say, as Morgan found out, the gene for eye color is found on the X chromosome. Okay? So, ang nakita niya when he crossed the red-eyed female with the white-eyed males, all of the offspring in the F1, okay, whether they're male or female, they had red eyes. Lahat sila ay red. Okay? So, what does this tell us again? Na yung relationship between red and white, red is dominant over white. Okay? So, we're assuming here that the male parent, of course, carries the allele for white eyes. Pero when it combines with the allele for red eyes from the female parent, na mask si white. Okay? So, si red ang dominant. So, we can use the letter R for that allele. But since it's found on the X chromosome, okay, we denote that by using superscript. Okay? So, big R, this is the X chromosome that contains the allele for red eyes, right? And then X small r would be an X chromosome that contains the allele for white eyes. Okay? The Y chromosome, however, is different. Okay? So, as we said, although they pair up during meiosis, they're not, strictly speaking, they're not homologous because they don't contain the same genes. Okay? So, the Y chromosome does not contain the gene for eye color. So, Y stands alone by itself. Wala siyang superscript. Okay? With respect to eye color. Okay. So, if we have a female, dito sa P, balik tayo sa P, if we have a female who is red-eyed, okay, na through breeding, so from generation to generation, if you cross it with a red-eyed male, all of the offspring will have red eyes. This implies that this female is homozygous for red eyes. So that the genotype is X big R, X big R. Okay? The male, on the other hand, okay, the male parent has white eyes. Remember, di ba? Male siya, so XY. Yung superscript naman niya dito would be the allele for white eyes, so X small r. Okay? So if we do the Punnett square for that, this is the alleles produced by the female parent here on the left side. On top, let's place the alleles produced by the male parent. Okay? X small r and y. So we have here, so we combine the alleles to determine what the genotype is for the offspring. So X big R, X small r. Same thing here sa baba, since homozygous naman si nanay. Okay? And then, dito sa kanan, X big R, Y, and X big R, Y. Okay? So we have two possible genotypes. We have the females here, kasi XX, and then we have the males here on the right. Okay? So what this shows us is that, ayan, yung offspring na F1, all the females have red eyes. Okay? And then all the males as well have red eyes. Okay? Although the female, as you can see, would be heterozygous. Okay? Because the recessive allele comes from the father. Okay? So, X big R from the mother, X small r from the father. Tapos dito sa red-eyed males, Y of course will come from the male parent, and the X big R comes from the female parent. Okay? So, this is the F1. So, the offspring of our purebred parentals. Okay, so let's proceed to the next generation. So what we're doing now is we're crossing the F1. So the red-eyed females na F1 cross with the red-eyed males na F1 as well. Okay, so let's erase everything. So we're doing an F1 cross where we have the heterozygous female, right? X big R, X small r. We're crossing that with the red-eyed male. Okay. So, heterozygous si female. Tapos si male, dominant yung phenotype. Pareho silang red-eyed. Okay? It's just that heterozygous si female. But she carries with her the allele for red and white eyes. Okay? So, expect this to reappear in the next generation. Just like what T.H. Morgan observed. Okay? So, let's do... Oops. Sorry. Okay, so let's do the Punnett cross. Punnett cross. Sorry. Antok na. Naalala ko lang itong gawin. Late na actually. Okay. So, let's do the Punnett square for this cross. So, this heterozygous female, diba, produces two types of alleles. Yung may dominant, X big R, at yung may recessive, X small r. The male also produces two types of alleles. Okay, so those containing the dominant allele for red eyes and the Y chromosome. Okay, so let's do the cross. Combine alleles. Nakakasunod guys ito yung explanation kasi dun sa results na nakita ni Morgan. Kaya he arrived at the idea that the gene for eye color is found on the X chromosome. Okay, ito yung explanation of it. So, looking at this result, what do we see? Sorry. We have anong phenotype nito? X big R would be a red-eyed female. Okay? X big R, X small r is also a red-eyed female. So if we take that, we have 2 for red-eyed female. Now what about this one on the upper right hand corner? This is a red-eyed male. Okay. And then this one here on the lower right hand corner is a white-eyed male. Okay. So if you're looking just at the phenotypes in terms of the eye color, 'di ba? Sabi natin, uy, parang kay Mendel yun kasi 3:1. So 3 red is to 1 white. Pero yung na-observe nga ni Morgan is that yung white-eyed sa F2 na to, right? It's the offspring of the F1. Yung white-eyed sa F2 ay puro male. Okay? So ito yung explanation niya. Sabi niya, X-linked yung gene for eye color. Okay? So, it's found on the X chromosome such that when a male carries an allele for white eyes, okay, hemizygous siya, right? So, yung susunod niyang chromosome, yung Y, wala namang allele for eye color. So, whatever is found on that X there is carried out. Yun yung may express na trait. Okay? So, this automatically is a red-eyed male. This here on the bottom is automatically a white-eyed male. Okay? Sa female naman, basta meron kang X big R, red-eyed yon. So, dito, sa baba, although meron kang small r, namamask naman siya yung effect namamask yung effect niya ni big R. So, red-eyed pa rin yan. So, lumalabas lang dito, itong offspring na to ang white-eyed. Okay? Is it possible to have a white-eyed female? Yes, it's possible. Okay? When you have 2 X with small r. Okay? Of course, we don't see it here in this cross. Okay? But it is possible to have a white-eyed female, although, yun nga, it's rarer. You more commonly find an X-linked recessive trait in the male because the male is hemizygous. Okay? So, this explains the results of Morgan's experiment with fruit flies. Let me know if you have questions. Okay? So, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.